The holding pens of the Vaskari thrall market were always cold. Cold enough that the stone floor bit through skin. Cold enough that even the strongest of the captured shivered. Cold enough that fear felt sharper. Lyra had been in those pens for 3 days. 3 days since the raid on her caravan. 3 days since chains were clasped around her wrists. 3 days since she was lined up with others of her kind young women with silvered skin and a luminous Izan displayed like livestock. To the highest bidder, she had seen what happened to the others. Vaskari buyers liked obedience. They trained their property through pain until obedience was all that remained. They told her she'd be next, that she'd scream, that she'd beg, that eventually she would break like all the rest. She believed them. So when the guards opened the gate on the 4th morning and called her number Lat 47, step forward. Lyra rose on shaking legs, bracing herself for whatever fate waited, but she did not see a Vaskari waiting outside the cage. She saw a human. He stood differently than the others, older, broad-shouldered, lines carved into his brown skin, not by cruelty, but by years. His hair was streaked with gray, his eyes a soft brown that didn't gleam with hunger or arrogance. He wore simple clothing, rough walking boots, a coat patched twice on the sleeves. Nothing about him suggested a man with power. Yet the guards bowed to him. Captain Hale, one greeted, handing him a datapad. Your purchase is ready. Purchase. Lyra's stomach clenched. Her hands instinctively rose to shield her face, expecting the first blow. The human noticed. He didn't strike. He just tilted his head. You're frightened, he said quietly. Lyra had been trained never to speak unless ordered. She didn't answer. Hey. Her trembling worsened. The guard prodded her with a baton. Move, girl. She stumbled forward, and then unexpectedly large. Human hands caught her shoulders before she fell. Warm hands, gentle hands. No need to shove. The human murmured to the guard. I've got her. The Vaskari blinked in confusion. Humans didn't challenge them. Humans didn't question them. But this one did. He turned back to Lyra. I'll take you from here, he said. You're safe with me. Safe. The word meant nothing in the Vaskari tongue. It almost meant nothing in hers. But when his hand settled lightly on the small of her back, guiding, not forcing something inside her, wilted with a strange, aching relief. He didn't put her in chains. He didn't leash her. He didn't drag her through the market. He simply walked beside her, matching her shaky pace. Lyra couldn't understand it. Humans were buyers too. She had heard the stories. Some were gentle at first, then cruel when the doors closed. Some made promises but used restraints anyway. Some liked breaking their thralls slowly. She had prepared her body to endure whatever this older man wanted, but he only kept pace with her in silence as they reached the shuttle bay. The ramp lowered. He let her walk in first. Sit wherever you're comfortable, he said, comfortable. Another foreign word. Lyra hesitated, scanning for traps. A shock. Collar. A restraint ring. Something. There was nothing. Just 2 seats. Clean and simple. She sat slowly, expecting the straps to constrict. They didn't. The human took the seat opposite her, leaving a respectful distance. Only then did she find the courage to ask in a whisper, What? What will you do to me? The man blinked, as though stunned by the question. Do to you, he echoed. Nothing. She stared, confused. He cleared his throat. My name is Elias Hale. I'm a retired ranger. I work with the Interstellar Rescue Network now. Her brows knitted. Rescue? We buy people out of the markets, bring them somewhere safe until we can return them home. She shook her head. That made no sense. Why? You gain nothing. I gain the knowledge that one more person isn't suffering. He said simply, no cruelty, no hidden meaning, just truth. Lyra didn't know how to respond. Your heart is pounding, Elias said gently. Are you in pain? She hugged her knees. I was told that when a human buys someone, you claim them. Elias drew in a slow breath. Lyra, he said softly, using her name for the first time. I did not buy you to own you, bought you so no one else could. Her eyes stung. He leaned forward slightly. No chains. No punishment. You'll get food, rest, medical care. Nothing more will be asked of you until you're ready. Till you're ready. Not until you obey. Not until you please me. Till you were ready. She wasn't prepared for kindness. She didn't know how to accept it. A single, fragile tear slipped down her cheek. Elias didn't wipe it away. He let her have her dignity. The safe house was on a quiet ridge on a forest moon, wooden, peaceful. The air smelled of pine and fresh water. Lyra kept expecting a trap, but all Elias did was show her around the cabin. "Kitchen's here," he said. "You can eat whenever you like. I stocked the fridge with food your species can digest." "How do you know what I can eat?" she asked cautiously. He scratched his beard. "Your file mentioned your dietary needs, so I made sure." Her file, someone, had written down her existence. It made her throat tighten. He hesitated before showing her the last room. "This is where you'll sleep." She froze. Sleep was a dangerous thing. Sleep made you vulnerable. Sleep was when new masters tested what you'd endure. She backed away without meaning to, breath trembling. Elias noticed instantly. "I won't touch you," he said softly. "Dot. Now, not ever. I'll even put a lock on your door if that makes you feel safe." The word again, safe. It sounded impossibly gentle coming from him. He stepped back from the doorway, giving her space to enter alone. "Everything in this room belongs to you," he said. "You don't owe me anything for it." "Why?" whispered. He smiled sadly. "'Cause no one should be afraid in their own room." She walked inside as though entering a dream. Clean blankets, a soft bed, a window with sunlight filtering through leaves. No chains, no hooks, no hooks, no. She sank onto the edge of the mattress, hands shaking. Elias stayed in the hall, ensuring his shadow didn't fall across her. "If you need anything," he said, "I'll be in the main room," and he left her alone. She waited for hours for him to return and demand. Something he never did. The first night was the hardest. She woke several times in panic, expecting a hand on her throat, a whisper in her ear. But each time she opened her eyes, she saw nothing but soft moonlight through the window. By morning, the scent of warm food drifted into the room. Her hunger twisted painfully. She hadn't eaten in almost a day. But approaching the kitchen felt dangerous. Elias noticed her hesitating. "You don't need permission to eat," he said quietly. "Just sit," she did slowly, as though expecting a slap. Instead, he placed a bowl of stew in front of her and sat far away so she wouldn't feel crowded. "You can eat as much or as little as you want," he assured. Lyra tasted a spoonful. Her eyes widened. Flavor burst across her tongue. Warm, comforting. She swallowed with difficulty as tears burned again. "No one has fed you properly in a long time, have they?" She shook her head. He didn't comment further. He let her eat in peace. Days passed. Elias kept his word. He never entered her room. He never touched her without asking. He never demanded obedience, labor, or intimacy. If she wanted silence, he gave her silence. If she wanted company, he sat nearby and talked softly about harmless things, his work, the stars. The forest outside, he never once treated her like property. Slowly, her shoulders lowered. Slowly, she began to breathe without fear tightening her ribs. Slowly, she stopped flinching whenever he moved. One evening, after a quiet dinner, she surprised herself by speaking first. "Elias, what will happen to me?" He set down his mug. "You'll stay here until the transport comes in 3 weeks. Then we'll take you to the sanctuary station. From there you can go home." Home. She had thought she'd never hear that word again. "And after that?" she asked. "After that," he said softly, "you live your life free." She swallowed. Her fingers twisted together. "And you will forget me?" He smiled gently. "No, not forget. But I won't follow you or claim you. Your life will be your own." Lyra stared at him, suddenly overwhelmed. No chains. Ownership. No expectation, just kindness. the kind she had never known from anyone but her mother. Her voice shook. "You saved me." He shook his head. "You saved yourself. Only helped open the door." Something broke inside her, then not fear, but the weight of surviving so long without compassion, without thinking. She reached out, hesitant, trembling, untouched the back of his hand. Elias froze. Surprised, she waited for him to pull away. Didn't. Instead, he turned his hand gently, palm up. Giving her the choice to continue, Lyra placed her smaller hand in his. Warmth flooded up her arm, soft and grounding. No fear, no threat. Just a connection she offered herself. "You've given me safety," she whispered. I didn't know humans could do that." Elias's eyes softened, and he gave the smallest, warmest smile. "There are cruel people in every species," he said, "and kind ones too. You just met me first." For the first time in weeks, Lyra felt the future open ahead of her, not a tunnel of darkness, but something bright, something free, something safe. She closed her fingers around his hand, just a little, not out of fear, but gratitude and hope.